Hi guys, just finished up another saber. This is another Graflex 2.0. Basically the customer wanted a kind of a budget install in terms of the chassis. Didn't want crystal chamber or any of that stuff, and it's actually with a crystal focus 10, the CFX. The thing that I found was trying to get a chassis for this saber with a CFX chassis is not possible at the moment. They're not actually available. There's no adapters, or at least when I did this, when the order went in for this saber, there was no adapters. So I've adapted one of the Goff 3D basic chassis to go with this. Things that the customer asked for, which any of you know with these sabers needs work putting into it, is he wanted the shine through glass eye, which I did. I had to machine down the blade holder section, also had to cut off the back of the glass eye and drill through and make a nice opening for it to light up. Also countersunk the outer shroud, the outer saber casing, so that the correct style screw could be put in rather than the Allen bolt that was in there. Obviously I've replaced the Allen bolt with one of these type screws here as well, even though they're not on proper Graflex. You need them on these to stop the clamp from twisting, as it hasn't got the little arms on the inside of, like the original Graflexes have. This part came from KL Sabers, as did the glass eye, and we also added this section, removed the Allen bolt from this and added one of the KL Sabers more correct style looking nubs to go in this piece. Obviously these don't move on these sabers, they're fixed in place, and it's actually used to screw into the blade holder to hold the blade holder in position as well. Other than that, I did a little bit of polishing work on it because he had a big scratch along the top, so I had to obviously sand out, keeping the grain direction, get rid of the scratch that was along the top of it, and a couple of other little scratches. There's still a few on it. These sabers don't seem to come perfect. The other thing I did, because it's a crystal focus, I had to adapt and a long stem tactile switch underneath the red button, because he wanted this as his power. And I've also used the Goff 3D switch holder for a tactile underneath the plate for the auxiliary on the saber. And I also made a blade plug for him as well. Obviously he had a blade plug that he sent to me, but he didn't actually know I was going to make him a blade, a neopixel blade plug for it, so that also lights up. So I'll just undo it. These are always tight because the clamp rubs against the rear handle on them when it's screwed down to the body at the front, so they never sit completely round. When that screw's not in there, this undoes really easily. So there you have the basic Goff 3D chassis with the CFX. I had to do some cutting down the side here to fit this in because there was no adapter available for this board to go in, and a little bit of cutting at the back, and obviously to keep it in position and to stop it flying around in there. It's got a little bit of hot glue around the edges on it, not splattered all over it, just along the edge, the front edge there, a little bit on the corner, and just a couple of tiny dabs just there and one just underneath the board. Obviously if you look there, you can see there's no glue pouring everywhere, it's just a tiny little dab underneath. I'll just, because I've just set up the SD card on it, I'll just grab the SD card and put it in. So this saber also was a gift from his better half, his wife, I believe it's his wife anyway, or his fiance, one of the two. So once you've got the SD card in, then you can power it up, turn the blade, turn the kill key so it's fired up. And obviously it's got a 2-watt bass speaker fitted to it. Now this, when it gets to there, it actually feels like it's getting to its end tightness. This is for the customer's awareness. It will actually turn a little bit more, and it'll get to a certain point where it'll do that and it'll slip a bit more. Then you get to there, and then that's it, just past that. That's tight. And as I've told him on his instructional video that I did from him, he's got a literally couple of mil gap between it, and he'll know when it's in line because the D-ring will be facing in this direction where it should be. So obviously it's got the shine through glass eye. And with this you can hold the auxiliary to change the colour. So he's got a few sound fonts that he asked for me to add on, which he supplied.
Sound bank selection.
Don't ask me what they are because I haven't got a clue.
The Force is with you, young Skywalker. But you are not a Jedi yet.
Although I think that one is ESB Graflex.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes. I will do what I must.
I think that's the Obi-Wan.
Nightfall.
Obviously that's Nightfall.
Come get it!
Some type of Kylo font, I presume.
It is obvious that this contest cannot be decided by our knowledge of the Force.
And that one's the Count's Claw.
Traitor!
And that's under Kylo font again.
Audio player.
I'm not sure what that one is. So I'll just pause this and I'll put a blade in. Some of the blaster bolts aren't showing up because I've set the pixel length to the length of his blade. My blade's shorter, so some of the blasts are actually where pixels would be on a longer blade.
Sound bank selection.
The Force is with you, youngster.
It's a more appropriate colour for that one, I think.
Sound bank selection.
The Force is with you, young.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes. I will do what I must.
Sound bank selection.
Only a Sith.
Nightfall.
Keep pressing the power button quickly because I'm used to the neopixel on the Profi boards now, which is a very quick press of the button.
Sound bank selection.
Nightfall.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes. I will do what I must.
Nightfall. Come get it. Nightfall.
Oh, that's interesting, didn't know that either. So you can press the power button to go back in the opposite direction when selecting sound fonts. Learn something new every day.
Come get it.
It is obvious that this contest cannot be decided by our knowledge of the Force.
I think that's the wrong colour for the count. It's more like it. So there you have it, guys. Graflex 2.0 with Crystal Focus 10 and neopixel. Thanks for watching, guys. Bomb out.